I mean, Peace Walker was the Metal Gear. Was that on like PSP or something? Where they had Snake going through and they had like the Monster Hunter crossover areas where you could like fight dragons and bullshit, which is actually pretty awesome. Yeah, PSP Monster Hunter. Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to need a hash map to WD config value here. Alright, so it's going to be decrypt from base 64. Okay, what is this? This is cred.m. It's such a good game. Yeah, I haven't played it, but damn, like I saw some of the stuff there. So missions like that, so kind of short missions, and then kind of a metagame sort of thing where, what was the name of the base that they had? Hell, I can't. I haven't played that many Metal Gear games, but I know like that base is like the big name thing. It's like what, Mother Base or some shit. I forget. Yeah, Mother Base. All right, I got it. I was like, no, that can't be the name. It's too simple. But that's not included though. What? All right, or you're not including that in there. All right, so I have the user material and cred.him user data. Alright, so that is base 64 encoded. Is it base 64 encoded? Yes, it is. Alright, so this is going to be a byte array. This will be decrypted user. And then we'll have our decrypted password. Well, that sounds pretty cool. Alright, so if we've decrypted these, we need to create a config value. This is going to be cred. What is this? Cred.m. We don't have anything in this thing? It's just user data, password material. We didn't actually save the name, did we? Alright, so this is going to be the name that I need to actually store. So this credential storage tool. Like that. The biggest critique is how short the missions are. Well, I mean, if Peace Walker was a mobile game, then it has to be super short, right? Yeah, some sort of game browser sort of thing where you can see who's playing. Alright, so the user is going to be a new string decrypted user dot decrypted user UTF-8 user bytes is just going to be decrypted user. Password string is going to be new string decrypted password UTF-8, and binary password is going to be the same thing. And hopefully I don't have to store credentials like SSL certs and shit, because KMS isn't big enough for that. I actually ran into that problem when I was at Amazon. I was trying to use KMS to encrypt stuff, but I couldn't shove the whole cert chain in there, so I had to like change the whole thing to storing like zipped data that was encrypted. It was pretty dumb. Maximum stupidity, but that's okay. Alright, so I'm gonna need to do this executor.wait for completion and executor.stop. Yeah, we'll do shutdown now, and if error.get return null, otherwise we need to store this. So cached values is going to be map, and as loaded it's going to be true. I think that'll work. Unless you're there to fix it. Yeah. Oh man. Okay, so let's make sure I actually wrote this. Yeah, that's kind of, you've got the metagame, the overarching, outside of the actual core combat experience. Well, it's easy. I don't know. The reason they would have like a metagame experience there is so that you can. It's probably easier to make missions and stuff like that, you know, and easier to get people to grind stuff out. You know, a lot of those levels I think are kind of cookie cutter, use the same level over and over again. It's kind of a limitation of having a mobile device as your target. You don't have as much room to store content, so you have to like reuse the same levels. And then it's like, how do you get people to play the same content? And be like, well, have it be, you know, people can, if you can grind stuff, then people love that anyway, so they don't really care about that. But then you go to Dragon Age 2, and it's like, why am I in the same goddamn place for everything? And yeah. Alright, so supposedly KMS should do this stuff. I'm gonna have to run the storage tool, though, to update everything on. I need to make sure that we've got the right values in our credentials. So let me just go download this. Alright, so it looks like this. Testgroup.testcredential, test credential, username and password. Cool. Alright, well theoretically we can run this thing and have it work. So let's change us to using EC2 for our config values and see if we can actually run our server. Okay, so unable to load credentials from service endpoint. Socket timeout. Exception to decrypting KMS data, unable to load credentials from service endpoints. Oh yeah, instance profile credential provider. So I need to... It's going to be this KMS credential loader. So let's see why this is getting all pissed at me. So the prop file is... Oh, this is supposed to be... This should be cred settings. Property file provider. Look at this crap down here. This is just... What was I doing? Must have been distracted. Load it up. Do it. Alright, we got our KMS stuff going on. So what this means is we can now load credentials, we can load config values, and all that cool stuff going on here. Alright, I need to take a look at this. So what I want to do is have a serialized name here called forced instance credentials. That'll be public boolean and force instance creds. We're going to set that to true, so you have to overwrite it to false. Alright, we're going to wait for load here. We're going to pass in like 30 seconds. Let's just do a private static final long max first load time, and let's just do 30 seconds. And that's pretty awesome, actually. So we've got our stuff using password safe if I'm going to run locally and loading configs from disk, and then if I'm running remotely, it's going to use S3 and KMS for all the credentials and everything else. So literally, we have just built a configuration system and a credential management system, which is actually pretty decent. So that's pretty cool. And a hot reload as well, and I can do things to it. I can say config.reload configs. Let's double check on that build process that was going on. Alright, so the Java server build job looks like it worked. Let's go see where it chucked itself when it was finished. Alright, so copying to the Z drive. So we got wd-services master artifact here. And what is the main file? This program is called -server. Alright, excellent. So our auto build process also works. That's pretty awesome. So we got a new server, well, a new program. We got our build process for it. We got configs, we got credentials. That's a good spot to check it all in. Alright, well that's a good point to stop, but let's see what else there is if I should want to actually keep going on stuff. Alright, so we got the credentials, we've got the configs, they're all nicely set up. We're going to need like a whole lot of stuff here. Feeling kind of tired. Yeah, I think I'm kind of fading out at the moment. I got all this credential crap going on. That's really cool. Like, we designed our server systems, we got started on our server systems, and we've got all this stuff rolling around. Let's just let's run this and then check out how many threads we got running. We've got the daemon thread for our window. We've got our config loader thread, our destroy Java VM thread. Let's see what if we're burning a hole in the ground. So this should be Java W. It's running on a hole 0. Let's see, do I even have JVisualVM on my machine? Because I don't know if you guys have ever seen Java profiling stuff, but it's actually kind of cool if you got it working right. So let's test this out. Yeah, so you can like attach to these processes here. So you can see like what your thing's doing. And this works remotely, which is really cool. So you can see like how many threads you got running, you know, how many are actually alive and everything, what they're doing. So you can see like the RMI threads are the ones doing there, and we've got like, oh, not a whole lot. There's default window, config loader is the only thread, and it's just sitting there sleeping for forever. You can do stuff like sample the CPU and see what's actually going on. And we can see that absolutely nothing is happening on our server, so it's doing what it should. But yeah, do all sorts of cool stuff. Tell it to perform a garbage collect, and it's gonna just get rid of all that data that we don't need. So there's cool stuff going on. Anyway, I think that's gonna be it for today. I might go do some other stuff. I might go set up some servers on AWS, but some of that crap is not stuff that I want to stream because it's a little bit. There's too many damn passwords and command lines and stuff that it's not good to stream some of that setup. So thanks for sticking around, and I hope everyone has a good day and all that. But I think I'm done. So I will see you later. So have a good one.